Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another weekly fighting roundup. And in today's video, of course, got the boxing and MMA news. If you are new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like video if you do indeed like video, and let's get straight into it. So, starting off with the boxing as per usual. So, Whittaker and Cutler versus Egbenike will fight December 10th. It's good to see Egbenike getting on a big card, and of course we interviewed him a little while ago now. Samuels has retired. Sanchez may fight Arreola in 2024. Chapman is set to fight Sedlakova December 2nd. Anderson has been arrested. Riakporhe will fight Barigion November 18th. Walsh will fight December 10th. Arts has been confirmed the winner versus Demore after that appeal. Asomba is set to fight Conky in February. Sanchez will fight Santidanes December 14th. Paul will fight August, December 15th. Shiraz versus Williams is off due to Shiraz getting an ear injury from what I believe. Broner has called out Garcia for 2024. Seems like everybody's calling out Garcia at the moment. An interesting fight. I doubt that will ever end up happening. Usyk has welcomed the Fury fight for February. That's the latest updates on that fight. Reeves versus Mitchell has been ruled a no contest. Cyborg will fight Wickstrom January 19th. Crawford has been stripped of his IBF world title, meaning Ellis has been upgraded to full world champion. So seems like he's going to be moving up in weight, Crawford. I believe that the IBF don't really care or don't really acknowledge the rematch clause with Spence. So I suppose that they're just preparing for him to move up in weight, but it'd be interesting to see. I mean, he's not got his other belt strips, I believe, so it's just the IBF, I think, at the moment. But fair play to Ennis. I mean, he's a full world champion now, so congrats to him, and completely deserved. Morel is set to fight Agbeko December 16th. Aziz is ready to fight from mid-January. Dolan is set to fight Ryan. Vosserman has won purse bids for Antwi versus McGann. Dakers will fight Webster November 18th. Jonas is set to fight Mayer January 20th. Bellew is set to go on I'm a Celebrity. Thought I might as well mention that here. Akmadalia versus Gonzalez. Year 5 versus Santomaro. McGrail versus O'Quinn. Boston versus Russ. Popoka versus Majika. McGrail and Gonzalez will fight December 16th. Fury has called out Demur. Strange call out, Roman Fury doing that. Joshua versus Wallin, Wilder versus Parker, Bivol versus Rivera, Hrgovic, Dubois versus Miller, Sanchez versus Farr, Makhmudov and Optaia is set to fight December 23rd. That would be a crazy card. Saudi Arabia, if they can get all that together, the people putting it together, it'll be an amazing card. That will be up there with one of the best cards ever, I think. And fair play to them, they're really coming in and showing what they're about now. And yeah, I mean, Joshua versus Wallin will be a very tough fight for Joshua. Wallin have nothing to lose really, so it'd be a very tough fight. Wilder versus Parker, I think Wilder would manage to win relatively easily. Bivol Rivera will be a good fight. Be good to see Rivera back. We spoke to him a little while ago. Well, I spoke to him a little while ago on this channel. Hrgovic. There's rumours, I can't remember who might be fighting. Dubois Miller, I think that would be a good fight. Sanchez Farr, I've just mentioned Sanchez possibly fighting Arreola, but it seems like he might be fighting Farr, if not, then maybe Arreola. Makhmudov, it'd be good to see his return. Optaia, I love watching Optaia fight every time he fights, so like I said, it'll be an amazing card. There are discussions for the return of prize fighter in Japan with Matchroom. Hines won via unanimous decision versus Gruber. Metcalf won via unanimous decision versus Yoshida to become IBF Intercontinental Bantamweight Champion. Herring won via TKO in round 1 versus Molina. Krebs won via unanimous decision versus Perez. Trinidad won via TKO in round 1 versus Bentley. McCrory won via unanimous decision versus Bozolin. Zambekov won via unanimous decision versus Julam. Yeritsian won via unanimous decision versus Veron. Jabayo won via KO in round 4 versus McNeil. Sandoval won via TKO in round 5 versus Ferreira. Walsh won by unanimous decision versus Villarreal to remain WBC USA Silver Super Welterweight Champion. Del Foro won via points versus Gonzalez. Gamma won via KO in round 1 versus Figueroa. Vargas won via KO in round 2 versus Buelvas. Rodriguez won via unanimous decision versus Gutierrez. Bracamontes won via unanimous decision versus Romero. Garcia won via unanimous decision versus Silva to become IBF World Super Flyweight Champion. Seemed like that was a good fight. If I'm being honest, I haven't been able to watch the highlights. I can't really find it anywhere. But from what I've seen from the response of it and from photos that they put on their respected Instagrams, it seemed like a good fight. I mean, I got my prediction wrong. From what it seems, Silva pushed the tempo like I thought she would, but Gonzalez managed to weather the storm and kind of outbox her from that aspect. And so fair play to her, fighting the fight which necessarily she might not have wanted to. And yeah, congratulations to Garcia. Canuni won via KO in round 3 versus Nazardes. Granadino won via split decision versus Conan to become IBO World Flyweight Champion. That was a close fight. Another prediction I got wrong. Granadino managed to kind of push Conan back at times. Conan pushed her back at times. It was a good fight. It's a close fight. Yet again, one I got my prediction wrong, but like I said, it's not a bad fight. That was to become IBO World Flyweight Champion. Andrews won via points versus Polasic. O'Mara won via points versus Sampson. Congrats to O'Mara. He had him on the channel just about a week or two ago now, just before that debut fight, and he got the victory, of course. Congratulations to him. Welland won via TK round 4 versus Rodriguez. Fury won via TK round 3 versus Davis. Dykes won via points versus Nazarian. Bradley won via points versus Bulik. Zaran won via points versus Karami. Welch won via TK round 4 versus Vergara. Richards won via points versus Ellison. Good to see Richards fighting again. Was into them after his last fight, and yeah, no, he's a nice bloke, and it's good to see him fighting. Obviously, these fights are levels. These are levels above that, but he's just for a moment getting active. But now he's with Wasserman. Hopefully, things will just be progressing in the right way, and he can get more big fights soon. Zarbek won via TK round 6 versus Sosa to become WO Global Super Featherweight Champion. Eubank won via TK round 11 versus Schwarzkopf to become a WO Global Super Lightweight Champion. Congrats to Eubank. Spoke to him a little while ago now, but great performance from him, and I was really interested to see how it would be like with Eubank Senior coming in. And he seemed to come in and have a different type of fighter from a last fight, which maybe wasn't his best performance, and possibly overlooked him, possibly he was too comfortable. It wasn't his best of performances the last fight before this, but this one was a good performance. This was a shutout victory, and to be able to get a stoppage against a very tough opponent who I don't believe has been stopped by anybody, fair play to him, and yeah, congratulations. I'm sure more big fights are going to be made. There's one which has just been announced today that have been talked about, but I'll talk about that next week. So yeah, definitely been more big fights on the horizon for him, and well deserved after getting shutout victories like that one. Sainz won via TK round 2 versus Lobeto. Reese won via TK round 5 versus Krogowski. Congratulations to Reese. Got that. Spoke to him a little while ago. I might have got a bit confused between the Reeses here, but either way, congratulations to Owen Reese that we spoke to a little while ago. Vuong won via points versus Mascara. Reese won via TKO round 5 versus Caetano. Afori won via TKO in round 8 versus French. Davis won via TKO round 8 versus Mackenzie. Dickinson won via TKO round 5 versus Dennis. Masood won via split decision versus San Martin to become WBA Intercontinental Super Bantamweight Champion. That was a solid performance from Masood. One which I would say he won the early rounds. It's another close fight. I feel kind of bad for Matchroom at this point because it seems like all their main events are just being very close fights, but I suppose to an extent that makes for good matchmaking, and so fair play to him. But San Martin, he really pushed the tempo in the later rounds, and that's what you kind of want for a fighter to be developing with fights like that. Obviously, Masood boxing level technical wise, he looks levels above, but what San Martin's going to do is try and kind of disrupt the game plan and bring his own fight and really push the tempo and try and control the tempo, and like I said, bring Masood into his fight, and I feel like he did do that in the later rounds, and so that's why that made it a closer fight. And so of course Masood's going to learn from this. Every fighter learns from it when that happens. Of course, yes, again, it's not a robbery. I'm never going to really say many fights are robberies, but yeah, Masood, congratulations. I spoke to him actually when he first got announced for fighting for Matchroom, so yeah, congratulations to him. Tony Drew versus Ruddock. That was a strange fight. I feel like most people expected that to be a strange fight. Going into even the weigh-in, it was strange. Realistically, I don't really think the fight should have been happening. With everything, the age and everything like that, and they just didn't look in shape. And I respect the commission for lowering it from 3-minute rounds to 2-minute rounds, which is something which I've never seen before. Mid-fight, they've just lowered it from 3 minutes to 2 minutes because they're struggling with the 3-minute rounds, which I found kind of funny. But to be fair, Tony, he didn't look amazing, but he didn't look terrible. Like, there was still maybe a little bit of power in his shots, and like he still moved relatively well, and like his head movement was solid, like it always was, and the shoulder rolls were still there. The kind of stuff that he was known for was still there to an extent, and so Tony definitely, in my opinion, would have won the fight if it would have gone. I don't think there are even judges to give the fight a win, but you know, it was an interesting fight. Ruddock didn't look. He looked so weak now, and the shots had nothing in him, and he was overcommitting a lot. And there was one punch which I saw Tony slip, and it absolutely sent Ruddock flying. But yeah, no, it wasn't an amazing fight. It was interesting to see them fight each other, I suppose, but I don't really think that either of them should fight again now, and definitely don't really want to be condoning fights like that to happen more. Quadros will fight Guevara November 17th, and that's all the boxing news. Moving on to MMA, Strickland will fight Du Plessis January 20th. That's a good fight. Du Plessis finally getting his title shot. O'Malley will fight Vera in March. They're running it back. O'Malley, now champion, trying to get rid of the demons of Vera when they fought last time out. Makhachev will fight Oliveira January 20th. Again, Makhachev trying to prove to everybody why he's the best lightweight, and trying to get another shutout victory against Oliveira. Volkanovski will fight Topuria in February. That's another good fight. Topuria, the only kind of contender left in the featherweight scene that's not really been dealt with by Volkanovski, and he brings a different aspect. And so, yeah, Volkanovski coming off to defeat, quite a big defeat. How's he going to be able to deal with a new quantity that he doesn't know and possibly could be overlooking? I don't know. Pereira has been inducted into the Glory Kickboxing Hall of Fame. Masvidal has received a plea deal with Covington. That's in court with that whole court case that's going on. Don't want to speak too much about that. Diaz is interested to fight Wilder in MMA. That was just something I thought I'd add in, but that's crazy. I don't see that ever happening. Danis has said he will retire if he doesn't get signed by the UFC. Nurmagomedov has tested positive for a banned substance, so his last win has been overturned to a no contest. That's a shame, and going to be interesting to see how he kind of deals with that and how that whole process goes, and compare it to that of boxing and how much they struggle with that. It'd be interesting to see how much kind of Bellator and MMA seem to deal with that. Emma's won by KO in round 1 versus Bazooka. Van won via decision versus Boyas. Castaneda won via decision versus Young Ho. Gordon won via KO in round 1 versus Madsen. Sandikov Drew versus Borshchev. Rebecki won by submission in round 1 versus Roberts. Gordinez won by decision versus Ricky. Urseg won by decision versus Costa. Lopez won by KO in round 1 versus Sabatini. St. Denis won by KO in round 1 versus Frevrola. Andrade won via KO in round 2 versus Dern. Aspinall won via KO in round 1 versus Pavlovich to become UFC interim heavyweight champion. Pereira won via KO in round 2 versus Prohaska to become UFC light heavyweight champion. And so speak a bit more about the card. Main card especially, St. Denis, great knockout. I'm really liking watching him at the moment, and I think he has a lot of potential to be one of the stars of French MMA. There's not really many there. There's Garn, but other than that, there's not really many about, and so there's definitely calling out for one, and I think St. Denis is definitely somebody there who could be one. Andrade, a good stoppage KO victory as a solid KO. It was kind of being called for the whole time because Dern just looks out of it now. She runs in, chin up in the air, trying to swing. She hit a couple big shots, but took a lot because of how open she was defensively, and I don't really think she's at her best anymore. Aspinall, wow, I was so happy about that. As such a big Aspinall fan I am. It was so nice to see the guy who KOs everybody first round, gets KO'd first round by Aspinall. it was so amazing to see, and he just showed levels above, and he does show that he's so much different to every kind of other UFC heavyweight at the moment. The way he does move and the way he is defensively aware is just so interesting, and the counters he has as well. It was an amazing stoppage. Congratulations to him. A third UFC champion, world champion. Now, obviously, it's an interim title, but it's still a big deal, and hopefully one day he'll get a fight with Jones now. And Pereira, KO stoppage versus Prochazka. That was interesting. Prochazka, to be fair, did look like he won the first round and he was doing quite well. Obviously, Pereira, people calling it kind of an early stoppage and everything like that, a controversial stoppage, but Prochazka admitted it himself. He was kind of out, and it's fair enough. You've seen Prochazka even go out in fights before, but then he's always managed to come back, and he's shown that he can kind of be at the very dark place and then still be able to come back and win. So, I mean, the stoppage, I'm not a massive fan of it, but Pereira, he's just so powerful. It's crazy how powerful he is. Like, the first kick he threw doesn't even look that hard. Prochazka ends up his leg just like going, and it just looking like he just looked shocked and confused, and he was like, wow, I didn't expect it to be that powerful. And so fair play to Pereira, he's an absolute beast in that aspect, and everybody knew that. But even just his technique as well, the way he hides his kicks and the way that he can counter on the back foot as well, and like I said, the power he holds and the way that he got the stoppage, he wasn't even throwing from a far away distance. That's stuff that you see like with Deontay Wilder. That's what he did to Helenius. Like, that's stuff that you very rarely see, just be able to get a stoppage against the tide and with a punch that he's not really thrown with much intent. And yeah, Pereira, fair play to him, and now another champion, two-time weight champion. Congratulations to him. Final bit of news: Blachowicz will rematch Rakic January 20th. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you didn't, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.